We made 3 mistakes when dealing with the humans. 3 pretty massive mistakes. Our first mistake was trying to train them. We offered them primitive FTL technology compared to what we were using. Some spacefaring ships that we had thrown into mothballs decades ago. Better energy production than what they had, but we had advanced well past it. And medical technology that we considered archaic by our own standards, but it was well beyond and advanced compared to theirs. In return, they would join our federation. They would come whenever we would call to fight conflicts we told them to fight, and terraform planets we told them to terraform. Also, to explore areas of space considered far too dangerous. We did this because they seem simple, and also that human physiology is far more enhanced than anything we expected. And now, given our technology, along with the fact that humans have this strange habit of reverse engineering everything, the human physiology has improved greatly. This made them excessively difficult to damage, let alone kill. Their innate abilities to handle extreme conditions of hot, cold, precipitation, high winds, and strong pressures like gravity fluctuations made them perfect to be our hounds. In combat, they showed surprising efficiency in space warfare, using proven techniques from something they call submariners. They devastated all enemy formations in their path. Along with that, they would sever supply routes before anybody knew what was going on, destroy or raid depots before anybody could reinforce them, and don't even get me started on what they did to the shipyards. Once they got within atmosphere, their atmospheric fighters had absolutely no rivals. Normally, they would use 3 types: a stealth fighter to keep other fighters and drones away, a heavy, large-range fighter to deliver a payload that cannot be struck from orbit, and a durable support aircraft to aid those on the surface of the planet at the time. This all complemented what humans could do on the surface. It didn't matter if the enemy was on the surface, buried deep into the planet's shell, or deep under the oceans. They would simply put on their very heavy equipment and walk until they found the enemy. All this worked in our favor for a while. Eventually, the humans wanted to be seen as equals in the eyes of the Federation House of Representatives. In response, the humans were told, "Your place is in the dirt with the other piles of filth." As calmly as possible, the human representatives asked the whole rest of the House to reconsider, as humanity itself has done their service. Then their service should be recognized. The Speaker of this House cried out while laughing, "That is your place in the universe, to serve us. You have no right to demand any treatment beyond what you have received." The human representative came back, "You mean the severely outdated technology you tried to buy us with?" "It is more than your pathetic bipedal species deserves. We have elevated you beyond your station. Now, you wish to bark at us for being so generous? I move that all human technology, vessels, and territory be taken from them. They will surrender their weapons, scientists, engineers, and warriors so that they will not be a threat. We may return them if you show that you are willing to submit to serve us once again." Confused, the human rep asked, "So you wish to declare war on us?"
"No, you will simply surrender to us. We have the greatest forces known. You will surrender these items to us, or we will simply destroy you."
The human, speaking very low, simply stated, "It's treason, then." The council looked at each other and did not understand until he spoke again. "Yeah, we figured this was going to happen, so we already have a response to your demands. The demands to take all of our weapons, our equipment, our boats away from us. You want our weapons? You're free to try and come and take them." With this, the human delegation simply got up and tried to leave. Sentry drones were immediately sent to stop them, but the drones suddenly malfunctioned as soon as they got close to the humans and flew off as fast as they could to the closest representative. This resulted in one being completely crushed and turned into a pile of paste on the floor and injured several others. The guards rushed in to try to stop them, and the humans drew ballistic weapons that nobody realized they were carrying. They cut through the guards without much of a break in stride, and seeing this, the other guards refused to stop the humans as they boarded their ship and left. The outer defenses just didn't seem to want to lock on to the human ship as it cleared the gravity well of the station and jumped. This was our second mistake. We had declared war on the humans. Before we could even call for our forces to rally, supply lines had been severed. Shipyards were attacked or sabotaged to just explode, but they were gone. Battle groups were ambushed and taken. Planets received strikes from rogue asteroids that suddenly changed their trajectory. Human ships arrived all over planets and began to strike military targets on hundreds of worlds simultaneously. Fully militarized planets and satellites were hit by human direct energy weapons. This made the planet not just uninhabitable, but also unusable for decades. The humans struck us hard, then asked us to reconsider our position. They said they could instantly stop the killing, stop the destruction, but the decision was up to us. In our hubris, we made our strike. We rallied all our forces, almost 3 dozen species. We would show the primitives what it means to challenge us. Our forces jumped into the human sector. Though heavy losses all the way around, they did manage to push through to the humans' home planet. And without giving them a chance to escape or shooting the shuttles that were trying to get away, our forces rained down hellfire, turning the bright blue and green orb into a volcanic hell world. Then we contacted the humans. Our legislature told them that we would do this to each and every one of their worlds if they did not capitulate immediately. There was no response from the humans. We all believed they just needed a few hours to contemplate the situation. We figured they would show up at our doorstep, begging for forgiveness. We laughed at what we could make them do in reparations for what they had done against us. When we heard about the first humans that arrived, we figured that it was all over. Then we heard that they arrived in multiple home systems at the same time. This was confusing, but so were the humans. Then we heard that the humans were heading for our stars. We were all confused. We always asked what the hell was going on. Could it be that the human military was simply going to destroy themselves to show us that they were beneath us? Well, I guess that works. That would be a waste, however, of billions of slaves. The humans then fired something at our stars and then simply jumped away. But they were so close, this was beyond crazy. You can't jump inside a gravity well. Well, you can, but you don't know where or when you're going to come out. We may not see these ships for 10,000 years. But they knew this. In the next few hours, there was a mad sprint to our home systems. 19 solar systems. 19 stars had been sent supernova. 19 homeworlds were gone, along with their associated satellites, colonies, any ships in the sector, and they were just burned into the ether itself. Then the human ships arrived. There were no words, no transmissions, just rotating turrets and destruction of our fleets as they were torn asunder by all the fire that came from them. Energy weapons, ballistic weapons, everything ripped through our fleets, and we didn't even have time to ready our forces. Everything was just gone. That is when we realized that we had made our third mistake by attacking their homeworld, subjugating, declaring war, and then doing something so just wrong. Even though my species was against it, we could not go against the more powerful ones in the representative household. But now, inside that same area for representatives, few seats remain filled. When humans decided to show up, it had been 44 human years since that day. Since the day that we had assaulted the human homeworld and they had responded by ending all of ours, taking down entire sectors. Since then, the humans have just not stopped hunting us. The few survivors watched alive as the humans walked into the room. Everything in there, aside from the steps of the humans, was so silent you could hear a chicken field mouse fart. The head of the representatives was scared out of his mind at the appearance of the humans. However, since they didn't destroy the station when they first jumped in, they believed the humans simply wanted to speak and be heard. When the humans walked calmly up to the speaker, completely bypassing the podium where most everyone stops to proceed and speak their words, the speaker of this house was visibly shaking as the human approached. The speaker asked, "Why are you here? What what do you want?" The human looked from his two eyes into the speaker's four, and with absolutely no emotion, he said, "We want what any warrior wants, to go home." Everyone realized the implication of this, as they did not have a homeworld anymore. It was still smoldering in molten lava that covered the entire surface, killing everything down to bacteria. He continued, "Since we can't do that, this is why we're here." He pulls a small ballistic cannon from his side, raises it, and the last thing the representative hears is a strange metallic click before it discharges and blows his brains against the symbol of the Federation that is right behind him. Moments later, all remaining representatives are cut down where they stood or where they went to run to. We all watched this live as the humans just simply turned and walked away. The staff around them, all the orderlies, all the security, maintenance personnel who were there, were all in shock and fear, many of them seeming to lose control of their bodily functions in just sheer terror of the species. Yet they simply kept walking. Afterwards, the humans just left. With the unmoving image of the speaker's brain matter sprayed across the Federation symbol, we understood the message and we understood it well. The Federation is dead. The station that it was in is now adrift in the vacuum of space, a warning to the few survivors that hubris will always bite you in the ass, and karma really is a bitch.